Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing a payday prep that includes some things that I don't think I've ever talked about before on any payday prep that I've done. But it also includes other things that I'm just using to fill in the gap. Obviously, we're living in a place and time where I feel that if you're not prepared, you better get prepared. And if you are prepared, you better stay prepared and help your neighbor if you can. Before we start, I thought that I'd come out and show you all how the chickens are doing, the 11 ladies and Poppy, my rooster, for those of you that don't know. See if they left us any gifts. Believe it or not, we no longer have to buy eggs at the store. They're supplying us with enough eggs on a daily basis to where we don't have to buy them anymore. So let's go ahead and give them some water and give them a little treat that I brought for them. Here's the treat that I brought for them right there. That's some fat, some vegetables, some salad and stuff like that, and they'll really, really enjoy that. And it is actually a really nice, about 30 degrees outside today, so not very cold at all. And you can see in here that they're very, well, you probably can't see it, but they're very happy in here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's where we keep our water, right here. And you can see over here is their food. So they're having their breakfast right now. Now this right here, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but you can see that it's on. This is my heater. This is a very nice radiant heater, and it's very safe as opposed to the incandescent light bulb. So what I'm going to do is when it starts getting a little bit darker, I'm going to go ahead and replace that incandescent light bulb with a regular LED light bulb to make sure that they get their 10 to 12 hours of sunlight or light per day. I can tell that we've got some eggs over there because you see her over there protecting those eggs. So normally they'll lay their eggs either in here or in one of these other baskets, or they'll lay them right here in this corner or in that corner over there and that one over there. You can see that corner. There's some eggs down there. But I'll wait until they actually get out. When I go and give them their treat, they'll go ahead and go out there, and I'll come in and collect my rent, I guess. And for those of you that haven't seen this, just where I have their water up in here. I open this up. You can see we got water in there, plenty. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my half gallon over here, which is usually what they go through in a day, about a half gallon or so of water. That's not bad for 12 chickens. This heater right here keeps the water warm. In here, I have a sensor that tells me what the temperature is in here. And let's see, the coldest that has been so far this year has been like 11 degrees outside, and it stays nice and warm in here all day. Today is a nice 29, 30 degrees outside. So in here, it's going to be probably about 40 degrees. It's usually about 10, 15 degrees warmer in here than it is on the outside. And that's without closing their door. I haven't closed it yet. Let's go ahead and give them a treat and see what we got for eggs. Chickens are probably some of the best garbage disposal units that nature invented, ladies and gentlemen. My daughter told me that they're just miniature dinosaurs. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and open this door. Now this plastic, I will be coming back in for this plastic to collect it up. Usually whenever I throw a paper plate in there, I just leave it there, and it'll eventually disintegrate into the soil. But I'll come and get that plastic back. And you can tell that the chickens are very well fed when you put food in there like that, a treat like that, and they don't rush right to it. So you can all tell that I've been feeding my girls very well. Look at that. They're still investigating. But that fat, ladies and gentlemen, they love that fat. I mean, they're all over that. And there's Poppy. Poppy grabbed himself a lemon. I don't think he liked that lemon. It's got a lot of vitamin C, though. Well, he got that lemon again. Look at him. Now let's see if we got some eggs. I told you that she would go out. Now we can go and take a look. None there. Oh, there is an egg over there. Usually I'll take a look in here. You see how it's got a nice little bowl here? So there's no eggs there. And none in the bowl. So it looks like we've got one egg. We got one egg today. There it is, right there. And it's nice and warm, ladies and gentlemen. the mama was doing a good job protecting this egg. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually in the middle of making breakfast, or at least little Miss Alaska Prepper is in the middle of making breakfast right now. And here's our fresh egg. This one right here is the one we're working out of. And here's the one that we're filling up right now. So look at this. This is almost 1.5 dozen in here. And like I said, we haven't had to buy any eggs here for at least this last time that we ran out of the Costco eggs. We haven't had to buy any more. They're keeping us with enough to where whenever we do eat eggs, we don't deplete them faster than what they're providing them to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I've been collecting some of this stuff for a little bit now. Some of it is just everyday things. Some of it is I'm just replacing some older things like this Ninja blender here. I just thought I'd show it to you because it makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, that if you have something that's getting old, and the blender that we have now is on its last leg. So we went ahead and replaced it with this one because this one was pretty good price at Costco. It was like 69 bucks. And we've had pretty good luck with Ninja appliances. And why is it so important that you get this stuff now? These things that are not made in the U.S. Let me tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. Because one of two things, in my opinion, is going to happen that is going to hinder our ability to get consumer products. And that is, if we go to war, number one, that is going to make China and all of these other countries that are producing countries that actually produce things and export, is going to make them stop exporting to us. Do you really think that China is going to export Ninja foodies to us if we go to war? I don't think so. So that's one possibility. Now, I don't even know if this is made in China, ladies and gentlemen, but it's just the point that I'm trying to make, is that a lot of the consumer items that we purchase today, they are made outside of our borders by countries that would not be very favorable to our country, the U.S., if we did have some kind of a world war. So that's number one. Number two is, if we do go to war, and or if our dollar crashes, if our economy or stock market crashes, it's going to be very difficult for us to be able to afford to import things like this, because our dollar will be devalued at a level that we're not going to be able to work enough hours to even afford something like this. Now, one thing that I don't think I've shown you before that I went ahead and purchased because I think that I'm going to need this next year, I'm pretty sure I will, is this right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me, I do have a small kitchen. We are trying to rectify that situation by moving our kitchen, but nonetheless, it's a small space, and that's why we're kind of like crunched in here. But this little toolkit here that comes in this little briefcase, I guess you can call it, or box, it comes with a couple of crimpers, or at least one crimper right here, and a wire stripper right here. And they look like they're pretty decent quality. Okay, so what they're used for is for you to go ahead and make your own MC4 connections on any kind of wire that you're using for solar. So you've got your leads right here, the same amount that it would take for you to go ahead and make these connectors right here. And you have a tool that allows you to twist them on. And of course, the crimping tool will allow you to put these, I believe these go anywhere from 8 to 10 gauge wire, solar wire. This, in my opinion, if you have solar, is something that you want to have just so you can make a repair if you have to your MC4 side of the connection. In addition to that, I also ordered some wiring, but that hasn't made it in yet. But this is definitely something you want to have, ladies and gentlemen. You may not have a need for it right now, but you never know when you will. And I believe I paid like $20-something for this little kit right here. I think it's very well worth it. Something else that I think will be pretty difficult to get should we stop getting imports, or if our dollar gets a lot more devalued than what it already is your electrical connections. Now, this one in particular is going to allow me to power my entire house by using my Opus Mega 5, my Opus Mega 3, whichever one I want to use. It'll allow me to go ahead and hook this up to what I call a slave cable. And the reason we call it a slave cable is that's what we called it when I was in the Army, the cable that used to hook up to a Humvee that used to provide electricity to whatever it is that you needed electricity for. But this right here is the connection that I need to make to my actual house, where the electricity will go from my Opus Mega 5, my Mega 3, all the way through my house wiring, where I don't have to just rely on one or two outlets. I can actually use them all. So I went ahead and picked one of these up because this is definitely something that I'll be using next year when we have a lot more sun than we do now. A couple of things that I haven't really thought about in the past was this right here. Actually, my wife looked at this and said, hey, we ought to get one or two of these. And this is a kit that allows you to determine what blood type a person is. It's very important for you to know this. You just never know when you may need to provide that information to a medical professional or for whatever reason. So if there's someone in your family that maybe you don't know what their blood type is, go ahead and find out this way if you don't want to go to the doctor to do it. And or if you just want to have an extra one or two, I think this is a good idea. Something else, ladies and gentlemen, that I never really covered is this. This is a 4 terabyte SSD external hard drive. And this is just like a little SD card, except it's really, really big. As you can see, 4 terabytes. And you can use this to pretty much store all of your digital documents, books, pictures, movies, things like that you want to keep. And it's very easy to go ahead and put this in a like Mylar bag or an EMP-proof bag, something like that. So this, in my opinion, is a very good idea. You don't have to get something this big, and you can get multiple small ones if you like as well. This here is something that I always use to fill in the gaps. A lot of people ask me, what kind of electrolyte powder do you use? And this is one of them. And this, I have to say, is probably my favorite because it doesn't have any sugar in it. It's sugar-free. And you can get it from Amazon. I have like a subscription from Amazon, and it comes in different flavors. And for this big thing right here, I think there's 100 servings in this right here. I think it's like $40 or something like that. So it's, I guess you can say it's a tiny bit pricey, like 40 bucks for the whole thing, but it is a great electrolyte. And you can see that's everything that it has right there. Yes, believe it or not, I am still prepping my nutrient survival. Only because I'm diabetic, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean that the rest of my family is not. So I pick up a can here or there. I actually ended up getting this one from Amazon. So if you want to make it easy on yourselves, go ahead and just do a subscription on Amazon. I actually have a subscription that I started on this Homestyle Scramble because it's my favorite, and getting one every 4 to 6 months or so, or however often you want to get it, for me it works. And like I said, even though I can't eat this on a regular basis, my other family members still can. This is not really a prep, ladies and gentlemen, but I thought that I would show you this sauce because, or salsa, because you can get it at Costco, and this is very, very good. And even if you are diabetic, which this is not a diabetic video, but look at this, it's pretty good stuff in here. This only has 2 grams of carbohydrates, which is 1 gram of sugar added, but it's for 2 tablespoons. So it's like 1 gram of carbohydrate per tablespoon. It comes with 32 tablespoons, and I've actually used this by the 2 tablespoons rule. So I'll do 1 serving of 2 tablespoons, and it actually goes a pretty long way. And this is the medium. It's the only one that I think they have. I kind of wish that they had one that was a little hotter than this, but I go to my handy dandy Tabasco sauce whenever I want to add more heat. Something else that's very important, ladies and gentlemen, I actually remember the last time I did a payday prep that included toothbrushes, and that was a few years back. Well, I was telling you during that payday prep that I had purchased some Sonic Care toothbrushes back then because I wanted to make sure I had a backup for the ones that we already had. And guess what? We had to replace at least one of those, mine, that we already had because the battery died out on it. So since we had to replace it, I went ahead and took a look at these at Costco. Pretty good price. I think these were like 99 bucks for both of these, but they last me for years. So since I had to replace one of my older ones with one of the previous payday prep Sonic Care toothbrushes that I showed you all years ago, we went ahead and picked another one up. Why? Because you have to take care of your teeth. Think about it. Do you want to have problems with your teeth during the apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen? Do you really want to have to go to the dentist during the end of the world? Absolutely not. And that's why you have to keep your teeth and your gums healthy. Now, something that is very, very important to put away, and if you're not a caffeine addict like I am, put some away anyways, because let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I love the Nutrient Survival coffee. This is the best coffee, in my opinion, that spray-dried coffee. You can't beat it. Look at all those vitamins and minerals, all of those things that your body needs on an everyday basis. I love this coffee. I stand by it 100%. However, this coffee is not bad at all for being a cheap coffee that's freeze-dried. And this coffee, ladies and gentlemen, I actually haven't shown you this. I have one of these in my bunker, and they were both sitting on the windowsill for like the last 2 years, getting hit on by the sun every single day. And they were still just fine. I opened one of them up. I tried it out. Tasted just fine. This coffee right here, if you've never tried it and you want to try it, what I recommend is that if you like your coffee with cream or half and half, that's the best way to drink this coffee. Because if you drink it just straight black, in my opinion, it doesn't taste very good. But once you add that cream or half and half to it, it tastes good enough to get you that rush of caffeine that you need. And like I said, this ain't going to go bad. This is going to last you decades if you put it away properly. Now, the Nutrient Survival Coffee, this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to last you 25 years easy. But what I'm getting at here is that you have this, right, for yourself, and you have this for the worst case scenarios, meaning that you're not going to be able to get coffee for the next 20 years, all right, so that you can have a backup, and or if you want to barter. This, in my opinion, is a very good quality coffee for the price. I think these were like 14 or 15 bucks a piece, and I know that a couple of weeks ago they had a $5 off coupon, which I was not able to use, but I did get a few of this nonetheless to put away because I know it's going to last. Now, I do have some garlic powder, ladies and gentlemen, put away in deep freeze. Means that it's packed with oxygen absorbers and stuff like that, and I packed it away for it to last for decades, and I will only use it in case of the apocalypse. All right, now this one right here, you can see that it says that it has a best buy date of November 15th of 2022, and it's obviously almost a year after that. Absolutely nothing wrong with it in its original container, and this is the second to last one of these that I have. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and replenish our garlic powder now, because not only is spices getting more expensive, but who knows if when we enter into the apocalypse that is going to be available. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that those of you that have been hearing me say apocalypse know that I'm just playing around when I say that, all right? And unfortunately, I actually have to say that because some people that watch these videos, they're not here all the time and they don't understand my dry sense of humor. But those of you that are always here, you know that I'm just playing around. I think this is a great deal. I bought this 5-pound bag from Amazon, and I think it was, don't quote me on this, but I think that it was probably around $20-something. I think it came out to like $4 or $5 a pound or so. It's a product of India. All right, so this comes from India, and India is pretty well known for making things or growing things that are pretty much all organic. So anyways, I got a couple of these to make sure it gets us through the next several years. And ladies and gentlemen, the second to last thing that I want to share with you is get these things now, because you never know when they're just going to disappear from the shelves. I'm not sure if you've noticed when you go shopping for like dry beans that the spaces where they put the dry beans, they call it real estate, like in a supermarket, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And we haven't really been having very good harvests in the last couple of years. And this, I can tell you for a fact that this is very high quality, awesome refried beans. So if you like refried beans, these things, you don't have to add anything to it, and they taste really good. It's not something that I indulge in quite often anymore, but I can tell you from past experience that these are high quality and very, very tasty. Now, the last thing is something that should make sense to all of you. We're going to go back into a place and time, ladies and gentlemen, where people are going to have to work, either work just to be able to grow their own garden or grow their own livestock, or just have to work hard in order to earn money to be able to survive. You can see that happening right now, where the elderly that are supposed to be retired right now are going to have to head back to work and have been heading back to work just to make ends meet. If you can find work pants at a great price, go ahead and stock up on them, even if you have some now. Now, I've never tried this brand. This brand is called Duluth, and they're supposed to be made out of like a material that they use to make fire hoses from. Not sure about the validity behind that statement, but that's just what I heard. But they look like they're pretty good quality. I haven't even tried them on. I'll report later on, maybe during a live stream or so, whether I like them or not. But they just happen to be on sale. So if you're looking for pants like these, I didn't buy these that long ago. They had like a 30% off sale, so I took advantage of it and got myself a couple of pair, as you can see right here. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I probably made this video about 10 times longer than what it should have been, but if you're still here, thank you very much for sticking it out. Have a great day. I hope that you're all having a good week so far. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.